Hello, my name is Dr. Rebecca Goss and I am your tutor for Start Writing Poetry at the National Centre for Writing. I am a poet. I've been writing for a very long time. I'm the author of 2 pamphlets and 3 full-length collections, and my 4th full-length collection is coming out next year. I have taught a variety of writing workshops and courses in my 20 plus years as a poet and tutor. I work, and my experience ranges from working with poets individually on their poems to teaching courses such as this in larger groups, which I really enjoy. This online course has been written by the poet Helen Ivory. This course was devised and put together by her, and latterly we have worked very closely together on the course's development and on certain individual modules where I have had more input, but the course is designed by Helen, and the brilliant Helen Ivory, can I say. The first time I read this course I just thought I want to teach this, and so tutored by me. And I enjoyed teaching it for lots of reasons. Well, I was really engaged by the course content, and I know you will be. I think it is really well put together course. It makes lots of sense. And it's not daunting for writers at all sorts of stages. I think what this course does is open doors. It opens doors to writers you may never heard of, ways of writing you may never have thought of, but in a really encouraging, positive atmosphere. And I think this is a really positive space to explore what your writing does look like and what it could look like if you're here to maybe make changes or experiment more or push yourself as a writer. So I'm a big fan of online teaching actually. I've done an awful lot of face-to-face and online, but I think it's possible for a tutor like me to nurture and encourage writers even in an online space. I think what comes from courses like this is a real sense of community. We will become a great little group, and we will know just sort of enough about each other and each other's writing as the course goes on to feel comfortable making comments on each other's work. And I think the nice thing is that you know that while you're working through the modules, I'm there with you all the time, and you're getting regular feedback from me, which I think is really important, and I really like seeing your work develop, seeing the writers and the students, the writers submit their new work with each assignment, and I can see how each of you have responded so individually to the task, but also that the online space gives the course participants a chance to maybe interact with each other, only if they want to, of course, but it is a really nice space to share ideas and meet, in inverted commas, other writers, and it really does work, and your tutors are here to encourage that online space is a really positive learning space. So I think there's an awful lot to be got from this course as a student. Sometimes it's even easier than the scary face-to-face sitting around a table in the room, and I think the good thing about this course is there is an element of control that you have over the timing of it. You can access this course in your own time, you can access the modules in your own time. So I love the course's accessibility. There are assignment deadlines, of course, but it's really well paced, and I don't think you will feel under pressure at all. So I like that part of it, that it's so accessible. If I had to pick a favourite module from my course, the Start Writing Poetry course, I think it would be the first one, which is called What is Poetry? Which sounds like an enormous unanswerable question, but actually it's a great starting question because it provokes, promotes, prompts such a variety of responses from students who come on the course, and there are all sorts of some really interesting resources to get you thinking with that vast question. But also I want you to know that everything you say on this course, everything a student says on this course is valid and important, and I want to hear it, and it is about sharing ideas and our thoughts of what poetry is, because that's such a vast question but such an interesting question. So I think there's a huge scope for ideas and the sharing of ideas on a course like this and in an online space like this. If I had to share a kind of valuable piece of advice about writing, well, there are a lot. You'll get lots of advice from me as we go along, but I think one valuable piece would be when writing a poem, and be prepared for drafting and different versions, and that your mind will, what you think about the poem will change as you go along, as the poem develops or improves, but ask yourself, how can you say it differently? So we all want to write about love and death and pain and the sun and the sea and the world around us. I mean, that's just a handful of things that are, worthy of poetic attention. Everything is worthy of poetic attention, but how can you say it differently? And that's how I challenge myself as a writer, and maybe how students on this course can think about approaching their poems in order to make them really unique. So I really look forward to seeing your work and getting to know you as writers and seeing you develop throughout the course.